We tried to warn you that Jaydon Blue was not going to take this news lightly. Jaydon Blue, there was a report earlier, we talked about it on the last show, that he was, according to a former Cowboys coach, Glenn Smith, there has been expressed concern about his borderline laziness. And what did we tell you on the channel when this broke? I mean, we said it. Don't take this as if it has to be gospel. That Jaydon Blue is in a position of league-winning capability in fantasy football 2025. This guy's a monster. And this negative report, I don't even know why this thing is being reported on. And we came out and said, don't believe it. Don't believe it necessarily just because somebody's saying it. Just because this podcast has a former coach on that's going to spread some bad vibes around about a young kid that is trying to make his own, trying to rise up in the world. This kid has win a league potential. But Jaydon Blue came right for everybody right out of the gate and said, they're going to feel me real soon. Production quiets all the noise, 100. He's ready to rumble. I love the clapping back of this kid. This is why he's a moon man. This is why we've been talking Jaydon Blue up like crazy all off season long. This is why Jaydon Blue qualifies as a league winner.
The moon men dropping loads in outer space.
Jaydon Blue to the moon. You're either on the train or you're not. You're either on or you're not. Decide now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Did we call it again? This was definitely the vibe of this report. While a lot of people were knee-jerk reacting to it, we were in here speaking truth. Jaydon Blue is ready to take the league by storm. And as I said on the earlier show, this guy's got the easiest path to the lineup. And even though I don't want to say bad things about Javonte, and I'm rooting for Javonte quietly, I really hope if Javonte goes crazy, I'll be so excited because we always love Javonte. And the injury that he suffered, that ACL, he's never been the same since. He's never had the opportunity since. It's just never lined up for him. And even though he caught, 50 plus passes last year, there's a lot of upside. There's good pass protection abilities that he brings to the table to maybe hang on to the job. Not saying that Blue even starts the season as the starter, although he could. There's plenty of time left. This is a midseason monster. We've got him on the midseason monster list. We waver on who we're going to keep on the midseason monster list and who's going to be on the Moonman list and Marsman, Saturnman. But at the end of the day, they can coexist. They can live on both these lists. Blue is right now currently a midseason monster, but he's also
the moon man dropping low.
The capability of winning your league in one of the most potent offenses in the National Football League is present. The ability for this guy to drop top 12 running back numbers per start once he's in there is present. He's exciting. He's shifty. He's hungry. And he's clapping back. And these bogus reports about him being lazy per former Dallas Cowboy coach, why is he bitter? Why is everybody running their mouth about a kid that you don't even know? Are you sitting there, former Cowboys Glenn Smith? Are you sitting there watching him practice? No, you're passing around he said, she said garbage. And Blue ain't taking it. Blue said, they're going to feel me real soon. Production quiets all the noise. This guy ain't lazy. This guy is a monster in the making. And I couldn't be more excited for all the hate and noise. Bring it. Blue's ready. Blue is a monster, a sleeping giant. And he's ready to take you guys to
the moon.
To the moon. There's other news. We'll talk more about this. This science right here that is Jaydon Blue. We'll talk more about where you should take him. What's his value comparatively to other players of his value range. We're talking about Charbonnet being a little higher, Mason a little higher. These guys are guys getting drafted higher than Blue, but could Blue hang with these guys or outscore them? Ray Davis, Brashard Smith. There's a bunch of players that fit the bill for being league winning at that late value territory. Benson, Garendo, obviously with Jordan James, Scattaboo, Dylan Samson, one of our other rising stars on this channel that we talk about constantly, and just feel better and better about his situation by the day. This one is a tough one. Ricky Pearsall and Brandon Ayuk both going on the PUP. There's a lot of hype around Ricky Pearsall. I've been very, very cautiously treading lightly on Ricky Pearsall evaluation because I just think everybody's expecting too much out of him. He's already back on the PUP. So this is a guy that to me has a lot more to prove before I start anointing him the team's number one. Jennings, this fuels a lot of Jennings holdout new contract buzz, and this isn't good for the Niners to have both of these wide receivers on the PUP. Ricky Pearsall could have a short stay on the PUP. Keep in mind the PUP in NFI, all these lists are sometimes leverage for teams to even have the players still present, and it depends on what list they're on, and then they can carry another body. Sometimes it's a paperwork maneuver where it's like we can keep another body if we put him on the PUP. So don't read too much into it. He could be off it in no time, but it's something to keep in mind. Why is he popping up to be placed on the PUP? There's obviously something there. Obviously there's injuries. I'm concerned about it to a degree where I see people drafting him as a player that's supposed to win a league. He's getting drafted extremely high and people have high hopes, and I just don't know that he can even for sure be the team's number one. Jennings is the team's number one. In my opinion, he's in potential holdout mode. We'll see where that goes. Niners should pay him. Niners probably will pay him and extend him, although he just asked for money last year and he got it. So I kind of feel like Jennings doesn't have much of a leg to stand on, but then the Niners have a beat up wide receiver room and they got to keep Purdy healthy, and having receivers on the field that can make moves and move the chains, that's going to be a requirement. So we'll see what happens. I doubt Jennings can really call the Niners bluff for very long. Obviously, he would hold in. Most players will hold in so that they don't end up causing any sort of, financial detriment to their bank account. But holding in is still like holding out in many ways, and you can still get hurt by holding in. So don't think, if he holds in, Jennings, and doesn't show up for a while, physically, he's there mentally, or you could say vice versa, but he doesn't bring it all to the table. He's not out there working. He's not out there cutting. He's not out there getting bumped around and getting hit. Then, yeah, he's going to be more susceptible to injury. So the Niners are already starting things off in a kind of a disastrous fashion from the wide receiver room. It's already the most confusing the wide receiver room has been in years, and now you've got an injury to Pearsall. We'll see where it goes. You got Ayuk, who's going to probably miss the first 4 weeks of the season. Could miss like 5 weeks. It's possible. And then you've got, other pieces of this team in questionable condition, whether it be the offensive line, whether it be Brock Purdy, because he didn't exactly look as good last year because he didn't have, all of his pieces on the board. And we'll see if that line can keep him healthy. And then you, of course, have Christian McCaffrey, who I'm not too concerned about the run game, because if he goes down, Garendo goes to the moon, and Garendo is such an amazing talent. That is the one part of this team that I'm not necessarily saying it's all weighted on the running back room. Look, you're going to win you're not going to win a Super Bowl, regardless. But your shot at it, that long shot chance of being that deep playoff team, does rely on Christian McCaffrey, but the regular season running back production can still be there through Garendo. So that's all we'd have to say. As far as this situation, we'll see how it plays out, but Jennings probably gets a little bump, but it is kind of wild to walk in 1 year later when he didn't really even earn more money. He really went out and earned what he got paid last year. He went in and said, give me more money, and he didn't even have really a leg to stand on. He's always been third and Juwan. Good third down player, gets those tough yards. But he asked to get paid in advance, and then he did it. And good on him for producing. But what Juwan Jennings did was produce what they had paid him to do. So coming back in a year later and saying, hey, pay me for what I'm about to do, again, is just wild to me. Jennings doesn't deserve it, to be honest. He's already getting paid to do what he did. This is not some 1,200-yard wide receiver and 10 touchdowns. Not saying he can't, do that in a given season like this strangely set up year where he has 1,000 yards and 6 or 7 touchdowns. He can do that, and I like Juwan Jennings, but he hasn't done that yet. He hasn't been that guy ever. He's been that guy in spots, but he's a 900-yard receiver that you're bringing in. Ziggy, how many receiving yards did Juwan Jennings have in 2024?
From NinersNation.com. Added a 2-year extension last
No,
October.
Ziggy, off. Ziggy, you're garbage. Ziggy, you're garbage. Off. You're done. You're done. We're going over to Kruger. Kruger, how many receiving yards did Juwan Jennings have in 2024 for the Niners? If it's one thing. Where am I?
In the 2024 season, Juwan Jennings had 975 receiving yards for the Niners. Pretty solid season for him.
How many touchdowns did he have? How many receptions did he have? How long does it take? Really?
He had 77 receptions and 6 touchdowns in 2024. Not too shabby.
Okay. So this is money. This is money that warrants what he's getting paid. I'm not saying this isn't a good year, but 77 receptions. Hopefully, Krug's right on those numbers as I'm putting them on the board. We need more than that to get paid more, don't we? No, actually, we don't, because you play for the Niners. Hey, Christian McCaffrey on his last leg. Give me a huge bump. Okay, here you go. George Kittle nearing the last year or two where he's doing what he's doing. Hey, pay me. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it in a way, but you can't run a business like that. Hey, what you've done, let's pay you for what you've done. I'm just saying the Niners are spending money in weird ways. Paying Juwan Jennings more money is not smart. It's not. I'm not saying they can't afford it. Maybe they can blow it. It's no big deal. Maybe it's more about like a little bit of upfront money. It's kind of at the end of the day, it's not going to be that much more. Sure, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. So anyway, we're going to open phone lines in just a few minutes. Quinshawn Judkins, we talked about this, that Browns beat writer Mary Kay Cabot reports that the Browns running back will not report to training camp, at least anytime soon. Not only that, he has yet to sign his rookie contract, and the Browns, like we said earlier, I won't spend too much time on this, but the Browns have said, we're not in a rush to sign him anytime soon. And they instructed Judkins to go handle his legal matter and not focus on football right now. So the odds of him playing week 1 are looking less and less likely. Judkins is way more likely to miss week 1 than to play week 1. And every day that goes by and every little piece of bad news without any sort of positive news on his front, even if it's like, we're going to defend ourselves, he's innocent, like we haven't heard anything like that. So every time we hear something bad, it gets worse. And if there's one more bad thing that pops up at all, then guess what? He's probably more likely to not play at all in 2025 than to play in 2025. Right now, I'm saying that about week 1, but we're certainly going to very, very soon shift over to saying that he's more likely to not play at all in 2025 than to play in 2025. That is the train and path we are on right now, heading toward that for Judkins. Judkins is in a very, very bad spot. We talked about the Washington Commanders earlier, just doing Terry McLaurin dirty. They did a post celebrating all the weddings that have occurred on the entirety of the season. They did in February talk about McLaurin's wedding and say congratulations. So in fairness, they did. But even in this post, a wholesome offseason, talking about the entirety, they left McLaurin's wedding off. And even McLaurin liked a post that said that this is disrespectful, and McLaurin liked it. The Commanders kept it up. I don't know if it's still up right now. If so, it's been hours and hours and hours that this thing has been up, but it was up a couple hours. They still have done nothing about it. And honestly, it's hard to say what's going to happen with Terry McLaurin. Every day that goes by, we get more and more likely of this thing not ending well, but I still think that these things can get wrapped up and cleaned up real quickly, and everybody can forget it. Bygones can be bygones. Everybody can just be happy and move forward. The way money talks is amazing. So tough to say that this is a good thing for the Commanders right now, but I think all of us can admit that they're better off with McLaurin, even if they're overpaying a little bit at a 30-year-old wide receiver, contract. It's still better for the Commanders because they can win now. They can win now. This is a Super Bowl contending team. They can make it to a Super Bowl in 2025. They probably do need McLaurin to do it. I think they could still go very far without him. There's still a chance they could be a Super Bowl contender without him, but there's certainly a Super Bowl contender with him. And so it makes no sense not to pay the man unless the man, and we'll find out later, unless the man's asking for Garrett Wilson money. But they need to do something. They need to do it now and stop disrespecting our boy and leaving him out of posts. There's this footage of Judkins, not even sure what's true anymore, what's not AI, what's not, but this is a report anyway. But Judkins looking in bad shape. Jaydon Blue to the moon. I would love to know what you think. Where are we drafting Jaydon Blue? Is he a round 11, round 10 sleeping giant, round 14? Where are you getting him? I've seen him go as late as 14. I've seen him go as early as 12, 11. I love him. Samson, Blue. Which one do you like out of those two? Would you rather have Blue or Samson? Vote in the chat, and I'll drag your answers on screen. Which one would you rather have? Phone lines are open. Dial in. Vote right now. I'll drag all the answers on screen.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, let's see what you guys think on this one. Phone lines are open. Dial in. I think I have to use the speaker right now because we got to restart everything. System reboot will be required, I think, to get back to the fresh, cleaned up phone line sound. Blue, baby. We got one vote for Blue. We got one vote for Samson. You're my boy, Blue. Samson, we got, I can't pick, maybe Samson. Aldi loves both of them. Samson by a country mile says Samson from DC Hogs, Quinshawn Judkins. Yeah, Blue, baby. Appreciate you. Samson vote. Samson by far. Look, I'm not mad at anybody for voting Samson. I'll tell you that right now. This is a Samson country. This is also Blue country as well. A blue vote. Samson. You guys are not. I don't want to say split, but there's definitely enough Blue votes that I think Blue's getting some good love here. But go ahead. You're live. What is this? Michael from San Diego. Go ahead. You're live.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Smitty?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, I'm going with Blue over Samson. It's close. They both have a lot of upside, but I think Blue, given the nature of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders with their injuries, I think that's a clearer path to RB1. Plus the team situation with GP, George Pickens, and CD Lamb stretching the field. I just like that situation a lot more.
I mean, they're both phenomenal options. They both have upside. They both have upside to be, league winners. But what were you saying?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying. I think they both have upside, but Blue, I think he has slightly more, maybe faster. Maybe say Samson has more long-term upside, but I think this season, with the way Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders' bodies are, I think he's going to, get the RB1.
Yeah. Well, see, this can be a very, very close, almost split divide for me because of how good Samson can be, and if this team is passing from behind, there'll be a lot of opportunity for Samson to get a bunch of third and fourth quarter work, get catching passes. But this right here is the way I analyze things when push comes to shove. I think Samson starts the season with more likely opportunity, as Javonte might need to lose the job again. It's July 18. You got so much time. Blue could grab the job, by then. But right now, as it stands on July 18, Samson's walking in with probably a guaranteed amount of workload in week 1. It'll be receptions, who knows how many carries. But what I'm going to say is similar to what AK just said right here. What happens for me, what it comes down to is offense. And when you're looking at a team like the Dallas Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns, Blue comes with so much more ceiling scoring potential. And this is a guy that's living in a high octane environment where the running back can actually become a top 10 running back. Whereas Samson, it's going to be hard for him to even become a top 10. He'll be a league winner potentially, and he could be a 10 to 15 guy. If all things go correctly, he gets tons of work. Love Samson, but Blue is the maybe more risk because Samson gets more work initially, more risk in case he can't take the job from Javonte, but Blue is the one that could live in the potent environment that could bring him 12 total touchdowns, 1,300 total yards, 43 receptions, and missing really the first 3 or 4 games of the season, not missing it, but not being in the lineup fully. That's the kind of season he could produce in this Cowboys offense if he is the real deal. If Blue is what we think he can be, he's elusive, he's explosive, he's quick, he can catch. We'll see how he develops in the pass protection game in that Dallas system. But another thing that's going to be interesting is if Blue, I don't know, for some reason, and I love Dak, and I continue to tell people that Dak is going to be really good per start this year. But for some reason, I don't know why, I can see Milton and Blue in there at the same time at some point this year, and it's just gonna look different. I don't know. I just have a weird vibe about these two. I love Dallas. I think Dallas has got so much potential this year. George Pickens is such a big addition that people are just overlooking. Such a huge addition. No one's saying he's not a diva that's going to bring a lot of diva mentality to the situation later. I get it, but you've hit the pause button. When Antonio Brown, diva, complete diva, goes to Tampa Bay at almost his peak diva, territory. He goes to Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady presses the pause button. There was a pause button. He wasn't a diva. It was on pause. We knew it was coming, but it was on pause. He was living in Tom Brady's basement. Tom Brady took him under his wing. He was listening. He was calmed down. As much as I know Pickens will become a diva when he wants his money in the offseason, he is very much happy right now. So you have 1 year of diva-free George Pickens, and it's going to be a glorious season. And it's going to make him play better, and he's going to get paid accordingly. But this Blue is a key component of this offense, I think, midseason on. But I love Samson. I love Blue. It's a great debate. All right, one real quick. Go ahead real quick, and then I got to go around the phone line if you want anything to add there, Mike.
No, you hit it perfect on the head.
Right.
That was my point. I just think there's more upside in the Cowboys off.
Yeah.
I think they're still going to be fighting for touches too. Ford, who's established already as well. So
Yeah, all right. Hey, mute yourself real quick, and let me go around the phone line. I got Johnny, then I'm going to go over to Travis, then I'm going to go over to the 310 caller. So go ahead, Johnny, and then Travis. Johnny, you're live.
All right, Smitty. So I think that Blue is by far the guy that we thought would end up being who would take over for Javonte Williams. If it was going to happen, he would be taken over. Obviously, we thought Quinshon Judkins was going to be the guy.
No,
and now there's this stuff that's happening.
Not necessarily. Not. I mean, we're a big Dylan Samson guy here, Johnny. We're a big deal. I mean, well, we thought that he was going to be in pole position early, but this wasn't a foregone conclusion that Judkins was going to run away with the job, because this is Dylan Samson country that you're entering here. Go ahead.
I get it, but I'm saying in the famous words of Denny Green, if he was who we thought he was, then perhaps he would have been the guy. And I think Quinshon Judkins is going to be the guy for most of the season.
Finish him.
Before I hang up on you, let me give you the fair chance to just defend what you just said. Why do you believe this to be the case? How many shares deep are you in Quinshon Judkins? Just be completely honest with me. Don't say no. Don't say none. Don't say none. Don't say none. That is, first of all, I know that's not true. We all know that's not, because that has become a very convenient answer for people when they get put on the spot. Like, no, I don't own any Quinshon Judkins shares. If you didn't, you wouldn't be taking this stance unless you're a perspective.
Smitty,
you've already nailed it down. You're going to draft Judkins in 15 leagues. You've already set your mind on it. Tell me why Judkins is going to.
Smitty, that's not what I said.
What'd you say?
I said hardly at all. I have some, but hardly at all.
Okay.
I think Blue is going to be the guy. I think of the two, we're talking about the two different guys. So I'm just
okay. But I want to go back to Judkins. What makes you think Judkins is going to be the guy? Like, what? Tell me your defense for what's going on right here. How is this going to end well for him? You think it's going to get thrown out? Like what?
No, I'm assuming that it's going to get taken care of, and if there's any discipline, that I don't think he's going to be out for the season. I think he's going to get maybe a little bit of discipline, and then it's back to playing ball. That's my point.
You know it's about 6 to 8 games minimum, right? So here's the problem here's the problem with your thinking though, is week one's quickly approaching. Right now they have no desire to sign him at all. Okay, so you're saying a majority of the season. You're talking about week 8 on roughly. Okay, so week 17, week 8. If they're not going to sign him anytime soon, he's losing ground on even being the week 1 starter. Ford is going to start week 1, even if Judkins came back today and hit the field, and maybe they're going to sign him tomorrow. Let's say it's like a natural week of things progressing and he signs. Ford's starting week 1, so you're already out like week 1, 2, and let's say like week 3 or 4, he would normally grab the job right here in like week 4. That's where Judkins starts to take off. You have to have everything play out perfectly for him to hit the field, not get suspended, have the league not put him on the commissioner exempt list. And before you get to this point here, he's suspended 6 to 8 games. If you get to this like midpoint. So like there's no way really, in my mind anyway, he can play even half a year, let alone dominate, or play even a quarter of the year, let alone dominate half the year, let alone dominate the full year. Like, so you're saying that you think he's going to be the starter for the majority of the year. I don't see how he can even be on the field for even half the season. If all things go perfectly for him. And that would be a suspension. That would be everything. I mean, is there a world where the league ignores it until it's all ironed out? There is a world where that can happen, but with domestic violence, and I think like we're saying, if the optics were better, maybe he could slip through and this thing might take until 2026 to unfold. But I don't think we're looking at that. I think that he's going to get a 6 to 8 game suspension almost no matter what. And this thing probably won't get resolved quick enough. And the Browns have said they're not going to sign him. There's no rush to sign him. And I just don't see how that's possible. But so now I
did say that because I did say that because that's what I thought. And that's why I watched you, Smitty, because you're telling me stuff that I don't know. So I was giving you my opinion. But I still think that Blue is the guy over the two.
Now I feel bad, Johnny. Can't even yell at Johnny anymore. Now I feel bad. All right, Johnny, let's pretend what I said is accurate, because maybe it's not. Maybe it's the NFL. This is the NFL where anything can happen. Johnny, you might be 100% right. Let's pretend I'm right. Now Dylan Sampson's only got Ford to offend with. Is it closer to you? It doesn't have to be. Don't feel pressure. Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Now it's almost like a coin flip.
Okay. All right, Johnny, hang tight unless you got one other thing to say, and I appreciate you, by the way. Sorry I yelled at you.
I'll call back if I have something. Take care, brother.
Okay.
Check your Patreon. I put something funny on it.
All right. Johnny, we good? I'm sorry, man. I had to yell at you. All right.
A blue meme.
All right, blue meme. Got it. All right. I mean, he took that L so good that it just made me feel like trash. If he would have screamed and yelled and hung up on the phone, then I'd feel better. Yeah, Travis, you're live. Actually, Travis, can you hold on one second? Can I read the super chat? $10 hauler from DJ.
Too much.
Coming in strong. And he said, took time off, but now this is the typical, I'm back. And we love everybody that comes back. Don't get me wrong, DJ. I love seeing these messages, actually. Like, I'm back. And then I know people are filing in. But DJ, I wish you wouldn't leave, first and foremost. But took time off, but now I'm back. Missed you, Smitty. Keeper league, full PPR. Keep 2. Hurts, Ford, Davis, Jennings, Devontae Smith, Shakir, Hopkins, Diggs, Jonu, or clean slate. Voting on extra flex. I don't love all these guys you can draft back probably at better value, I'd imagine, or you're missing out on the group of players that are thrown back into the pool. And I don't think Devontae Smith's going to be, he's your best receiver. I don't think he's going to be better than some of the options available in your second round pick. Hurts is hard to grab too, because if you're, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, but if you keep Hurts, you're just going to forego your first round pick is what I'm guessing with this format. If I'm wrong and there's a pick attached to it, you need to give me those values. Like if it's a 7th rounder, 9th rounder. But without you telling me, it makes me feel like you keep 2 guys, you start your draft later, right? And I think because you can draft a quarterback much later, like Hurts anyway, you're going to want to get those RBs and wide receivers that are all thrown into the pool because everybody's keeping the top dogs. So you're starting off behind anyway. So my guess is clean slate. But DJ, if I have that wrong, let me know. But I think I have that right. Thank you, my boy. And then this $2 hauler. Sell Judkins for Bigsby and a 26-second. I'll let Travis answer this one, and then I'm going to give you my take. As much as I love, I don't know. I don't know where. Let me get someone else's fresh mind on this, because I think there's still value in Judkins. I don't think he's done for necessarily, but it also depends on this case. If it gets thrown out because right now it's not in the hands of the alleged victim, it's in the hands of the DA really when they look at this stuff. So you're not, this thing could get thrown out, or what if there's mishandling of something, like who knows, and then he still gets suspended but he's not completely done for. Or if this thing goes really, really badly, there might be no team that will sign him because of the strong arming of the league. There's a world where Bigsby in the 26th second is just worth taking, and then you get something out of this. But there is a world where Judkins can somehow climb back up. Travis, go ahead and answer this, and then ask me your next question, or whatever you're going to say.
I'm getting something that definitely helps my team. I'm kind of hoping.
And I can't blame you.
I mean, Bigsby is competing with two other guys. It's much for me. So I get, like, if you can't stand losing completely, okay, then you got to move on.
Chat, hold on this one. Okay, but let me just devil's advocate. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I completely understand your stance, and I wavered on it, answering my own way. If you say, okay, well, Bigsby's competing, well, isn't Judkins in the best of scenarios walking in behind Samson? Like, isn't it feasible to think that Dylan Sampson's going to leapfrog him almost no matter what, because he's such a talented guy too, that Judkins will walk in if he walks back in as the third running back in a worse scenario than maybe even Bigsby, or at least the same, you know what I mean? So like that part I waver on, because I don't think just because he was drafted earlier, he's just going to get the job. He might lose it entirely, but
yeah, that's like Blue, like he's spot on with how Blue might have the higher ceiling, but personally, I know I was one of a few people who agreed. I had him ranked right with Judkins or ahead of him. Landing one Judkins. I think he's run away with the job once he gets.
Yeah, he certainly has the upside to run away with the job. I mean, that's the thing too, is if Samson were to get a shot, if he gets a crack at it, I'm so confident in him that I think that his job is no longer there. It's just one of those tough, aspects of life. And keep in mind that Gabriel was drafted before Shedeur, so the Browns are going to be playing this game already, where they're like, okay, we messed up on our order of these guys. Shedeur's better than Gabriel. Like, it's going to be easier for them to say, well, Dylan Sampson's better than Judkins. I don't know. They've just what a waste of. I'm not saying that they could see this coming for Judkins, but what a team. What a team. The Browns are the Browns. They used 2 picks on a quarterback, drafting the better quarterback later, now putting the pressure on Gabriel to maybe give Gabriel a little bit more leeway than they should. And then they draft 2 running backs, and then one of them's not going to work out. It's like the Browns are just a disaster. I feel so bad for Browns fans. I mean, come on. That's just unreal. But Blue to me, amazing offense. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder. I love this. I'm glad this happened. Maybe he is. Maybe there's something else. I'm not saying that we know everything and that we're always right on every single level. But just like when I said when this news broke today, I mean, it didn't last but 4 hours, 3 hours. When this news broke, I smelled something fishy with it, especially relating to Dallas Cowboy content. Just like Niner content, you can never trust Niner content because there's so many agendas and people trying to make a name for themselves. Cowboys is the same way. New England's getting a little bit that way. There's so many fan bases out there trying to pretend they know everything, got inside information. And when this came out, the first thing I thought of was, how is this kid who's got the job right in front of him gonna go in there and be lazy? And the fact that it's a former Dallas Cowboy, do you trust a former employee to tell you that this job sucks? Don't take it. Why? Did you get fired? Like, what happened? You're a former Dallas Cowboy coach. You're talking shit about a young upcoming player that's been in shorts and a t-shirt for the majority of the time, and you're judging his laziness. You're talking about how he's a lazy kid, and he comes back, claps back, and says, everyone's going to find out real soon. They put a chip the size of a house on this kid's shoulder, and it does nothing but allow us to probably cook because of it.
Let him cook.
Go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, he didn't. $3
Blue moon. That's right. Blue moon. To the moon. To the blue moon. I like that. Who said that? Sad? I like that, sad. That's good. Sell Judkins for... So I'm going to say... Chat, what did the chat say? I'm going to say the upside... Maybe to flip it, Judkins would have more value because I don't think people believe in Bigsby yet. And maybe Bigsby becomes nothing, so maybe both of them become nothing. It's hard to really say. I do know that Tootin fumbled, right from the jump, and Liam Cohen took strong notice of that, and that could be lighting a fire under him. Like, you got to hold on to the ball. But Tootin struggled with fumbles before, so it's not good that Tootin already fumbled. I like Tootin. He's very explosive. But Bigsby, the moment Liam Cohen landed in his new role, one of the first things out of his mouth was, how could you not want to come here, or some to that tune? It was like, throw to 10 targets a game to BTJ, and we're all 10 targets to BTJ. And then the next thing out of his mouth was 20 carries to ETN or 20 carries to Tank Bigsby. Like he did an or, because I don't think he knows who his starter is. But then he drafts Tootin, and it kind of confuses matters just a little bit. So now we're in a confusing state of looking at 3 RBs in an offense that produced an offensive scheme that just produced Bucky Irving. But I guess at the end of the day, I might lean toward Bigsby in the second round pick, because maybe I can use that second to do something creative, and also I'm banking on offense again. It's the Browns offense with all the problems on top of it for Judkins to get back into the saddle versus a Liam Cohen offense about a running back whose metrics were pretty amazing last year. Top 5 in the league in some categories per touch. So there's a lot of excitement about this kid's elusiveness. I've always liked Bigsby. He felt a little Bucky last year. There was moments where he felt like he also could go on that path, and then he didn't. So I'm going to say Bigsby in a second for me. But it's a tough thing. I mean, Judkins is a taller, I think, climb back than people realize, but that's just going to be my take. And then this $20 hauler here from Eddie. Eddie, appreciate you, my boy. Eddie
Alert. Super chat
Eddie
alert.
to the moon. Eddie's dropping this one. Eddie says, feels great to be back. Smitty, 12-team half PPR, 1 QB, 1 flex. Keep round 1, or no, keeper 1, round 10 HN. Just unbelievably filthy, bro. Round 10 JD5, round 9 Chase Brown, or round 3 Neighbors. Throw Neighbors back. You're keeping HN, JD5, and Chase Brown. Round 3 is great for Neighbors, but there are wide receivers that live there that are going to be relatively comparable in the grand scheme of things. Because what you're doing is, you got to look at it this way. You're not, even JD5, but let's just use Chase Brown, for example. Chase Brown, round 9. You're essentially getting round 3 player with Chase Brown versus just Neighbors. Or you're getting JD5 with a round 3 player over just Neighbors. So that's an easy call for me. Plus, you could maybe even draft Neighbors back anyway. I think this is it. Bro, glad to have you back. Thank you for the $20 hauler. And this looks very the fantasy football show-esque to me.
Let him cook.
I see a team with JD5, Chase Brown, and A-Chan on it. I know what channel they watch. Eddie, that's Smitty approved, my young man.
You've just been.
What a squad. And then I think I have two more super chats real quick, and then back to the phone line. I appreciate everybody's patience. Thank you, Eddie, for that one. Got Hurts and a third in the third round. Got Hurts at the third round. Okay, so your question has Hurts in the third round then. Let me go back to your super chat, and then I think we're covered. I'll go back to the phone lines after this. Got Hurts in the third round. So you're keeping Hurts in the third round. I mean, he goes in the fourth round sometimes. I mean, I don't know. I would probably say throw everybody back. And if I need more information and you don't think I'm handling this the exact way, understanding everything, I think I do, though. I would rather choose my quarterback spot later, because you could get Knicks or Mahomes a handful of rounds later, and you'll be forced to not draft a player where that Hurts value's written in, and you might be drooling over the player you could take and be like, I wish I could swap Hurts out for Mahomes or Knicks, who's going like 3 rounds later, 2 rounds later. I would probably throw everybody back in, my boy, and dropping a $10 hauler on top of it.
Too much.
I appreciate you. All right, back over to Travis real quick, and then around the phone line. Travis, anything else for now? All right, let's see who I was going to go to. It was 310, and then I'm going to go over to the 520, then the 808. So in that order, hang tight. I'm sorry about the wait. 310, you're live. Who's this and where are you calling from?
What's up, Smitty? It's Josh from Cali. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Josh? What can I do for you, pal?
Love the show, man. Will Ferrell, you're my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
You're my boy, Blue.
Blue Moon.
Isn't even close.
Chase Brown.
Chase,
yeah, it isn't, but real quickly, that whole Chase Brown last year that almost backfired. Like, I started to get worried because I was tooting the Chase Brown all off season, and then Chase Brown laid a dump in week. He didn't get out of the bathroom until week what week was it, Travis, that he finally got going? Yeah, I was getting a little worried. I was getting a little worried that all my Chase Brown wasn't gonna end up, being very good on the run back. Maybe the new one is, and I forget who said it. Please, I think it was Sad. Maybe it's Blue Moon, Blue to the Moon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But go ahead, bro. Blue to the Moon, Blue Moon.
Hey, man. Blue to the Moon. You're my boy, Blue. It's all the same, man. This guy's a kid. This kid came from Texas. Right? Explosive offense, so I've seen a lot of film. I haven't seen too much Samson personally.
Hit that subscribe
I know
button
you have,
if you're
you
new,
vouch for him,
and wipe
but
your feet.
you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys offense versus the Cleveland Browns offense. Which running back's better? It's not even that close. I think Blue, and this chip on the shoulder this kid has now because of this old coach comparing him to Emmitt Smith or whoever he was thinking of. It's crazy. Blue is going to ball, bro. Blue is the best ADP you can smash on him.
Blue's filthy. He's filthy. And this chip, they just created a chip the size of a house and placed it right on his shoulder. I mean, what a dumb move. If anybody was trying to do something creative with this from another fan base or whatever, like ends up being a plant, what a dumb move. You just fed a monster. You just fed a monster cookie. And he's gonna grow to the moon. This is Blue Moon. You're my boy, Blue. Blue season. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Blue is going to go ballistic. And I don't know if you guys remember, like the last month or so in drafts, I've just been smashing the Blue shares, and I just can't stop drafting them. And this is just making it even more enjoyable. But Blue's got that. I just can't stop drafting Jaden Blue. Can't do it.
I agree.
All right.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty hard. I got an embarrassment of riches over here. I'm keeping it. I got JD5 in the 10th or Bucky in the 13th.
I mean, that it's a 1 QB.
1 QB.
Okay, so I mean, just ask yourself the question: if you're going into a draft that's totally unrelated to this, it's a 1 QB draft. I invite you to a league right now. Let's go draft this redraft league. Where are you taking Bucky? Okay, where are you taking JD5? It's a 1 QB. You're not so
late second. Yeah.
Well, I mean, probably even third or fourth.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I mean, there's no world where you're drafting JD5 over Bucky in a 1 QB. Not because he can't deliver that, but because it's not the world we live in. We live in a world where people don't draft quarterbacks early, so we can take advantage of that world. But Bucky's keeper round is even later, so this is not even a hesitation. There's nothing got here.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Bucky goes back in, he could get drafted right away. If this is a keeper league, that means 1-man keeper. You keep 1 person each.
1 man.
That means probably 8 or 9 of the top 12 people will be ripped off the board immediately. Bucky could be one of the first selections. JD5 will last a little bit longer in a 1 QB, so you could easily get him back. All right, my boy. All right.
Hey, which receiver balls out if McLaurin does get picked? Which receiver steps up?
Well, Debo. I mean, Debo for sure. But Lane probably gets ushered in. Luke McCaffrey, we'll see what he can do. I mean, there's a handful of receivers on this roster that could do something, but I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't think the Commanders are going to be stupid with this thing. I mean, this is like going in. There's just no way. I don't see how, unless there's something going on personality-wise with McLaurin, and it can't be because he's such a calm, mellow, good dude. He's so easygoing, and he's the kind of guy you walk in and be like, "Do you need to talk to your agent?" He's like, "No, let's just sign it," Or, "Hey, we're gonna keep another $1 million." Sure, whatever. Just sign. I don't think he's trying to nickel and dime them. I think that they're trying to be smart, the Commanders. That he's 30 years old, but I mean, if they think they could win a Super Bowl with him, they better pay him, and figure out how to do it in a creative way. I mean, not talking to him for a month doesn't sound acceptable to me. If I was running things over there, and I love Adam Peters, but I don't know what else is, at play. But if I was running things over there or somebody threw me in right away, I would say, what's the status on this? Okay, I don't care how emotional McLaurin is right now or whatever. This not talking for a month is not acceptable. We need to be the bigger piece of this, the bigger person. And we need to figure out how to continue to work every day if it takes that. But what I believe might be in the way here is an agent. I don't sense that the Commanders are this stupid, and I don't sense that McLaurin's this difficult. So I don't know. Maybe it's his agent. You know how sometimes an agent gets fired after something goes awry. This might be one of those situations, but we'll see. All right, got to go. Appreciate you.
Hold on.
All right. Now I'm going over to the 520, then the 808. 520, you're live.
Yo, what's up, Smitty?
Yo, what's up?
All right, so I made some Dynasty trades. You might not like.
I can smell it.
All of them.
I can smell it.
But I think you'll like a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. You let me do that.
Hawkinson and Higgins for McBride.
Okay, Hawkinson, Higgins for McBride. I like that. I'm fine with that. I mean, I assume you have depth.
Do I what?
I assume you have some depth, so you're paying a good amount, but I like it.
My team is.
I do that. All right. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Hit me with the bad.
And then another good one, I think at least you'd like it. Is I traded Pat Mahomes. No, I traded CJ Stroud and Jordan Love for Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, and a second rounder in 2026.
Superflex, I obviously assume.
Motion detected.
Who is your other quarterback after sending, 2 away? Who?
Daniels, Baker.
Sure. Worthy. I like
Baker's
that.
my third, and Mahomes is my second, and then
Love
I got Daniels at
Love it.
one.
Love it. Okay, 2 for 2. Now give me the bad because I'm feeling you screwed something up here.
Yeah, the trade that I don't know if you would like. I mean,
spit it out, man. Spit it out. What do we have?
So I traded Bijan and Pearsall.
Hold on. Bijan, let me just say goodbye to Bijan real quickly. Bijan and Pearsall 4. Okay, go ahead.
MHJ and Amarion Hampton.
I mean, that's not the end of the world. I mean, that could even be argued.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. Would I rather have Bijan and Pearsall? Yeah, but you made it sound like I was going to hang up on you. So I would say, would I rather have Bijan? I'd rather have Bijan and Pearsall. I'm just going to tell you that now. But this isn't the end of the world. You just really need MHJ to become last year's valuation. If he even comes remotely close to that, this could be okay. You know, and Hampton's going to be amazing. But Bijan is the 1.1 dynasty player for me. So it's a tough thing. Like, where are you taking Hampton in a dynasty draft, Travis? The 2-3 turn, maybe?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, middle to end of the second.
Okay.
Beginning of third.
And MHJ, he's a third rounder in redraft. He's probably still in the third round in dynasty, but like maybe he's like 3.2 or something. So, you know, in Pearsall, while I don't like Pearsall personally as a guy that's going to be there for years and years, he's got a lot of value. And he just went on the PUP, which is not good, but if he comes off it, people will be high on him again. I think like taking Pearsall and combining other things to get a different receiver like MHJ would have been the better avenue. But this is the 1.1 versus a 2-3 turn combo. And I just think that it's arguable. But I would have just rather turned Pearsall into like Hunter, Garrett Wilson, an MHJ, even like a DK Metcalf. Like if you could put DK here instead of Pearsall, then this becomes a hell no, don't do it. You know, and I think getting Pearsall to DK is not that hard. So that's where I would have said you went wrong. I wouldn't have touched the Bijan part of this.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, but no, good team, bro.
And then another good one I did.
All right, last one.
Kamara and Tootin for Chase Brown.
Chase Brown? I like that. I like that one. All right, bro. Call in if you got another one later. And then the last caller looks like just hung up. So phone lines are clear if anybody wants to dial in. And if any of the people that hung up want to call back. Travis, what else you got? Blue to the moon.
Another thing on Jaden Blue is like that came from a former coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll read it. I'll read it again.
Coach that's not around the team.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah.
Talk crap about players and putting out bad news. Like, so who knows where he heard it from in the first place? You know. Mm-hmm. And he's not around the team.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you got to listen to somebody who used to work for your company that says that company's crap. Like, you look at him, you're like, okay, Susan, we'll see you later. I know you. Right. You know, you're smoking by the exit.
Sometimes you have former coaches actually around the team still. You know, they have connections. You know, if they're older, sometimes they still come around and help out, whatever. This guy, just by saying that, you know he's not around the team because he starts leaking stuff from the team or just making crap up. They're going to be like, get the hell out of here. So you know he's not around the team. There's like no way around it.
Yeah. Another thing that people, I think, have a problem with Jaydon Blue, just to put this to bed, is they say he's too small. But just want to, and I've done this before. I've actually I remember actually clipping this the exact same way. But Bucky Irving and Jaydon Blue are like nearly identical size, Jaden Blue is a tiny bit smaller, shorter, but let me put this up here. But Jaden Blue is also built in a way that reminds me a lot of, what's the best way to describe his build? Hard to say what. It's compact. It kind of reminds me of Harvey in some ways of how he's built, but Jaden Blue is 5'9", 196, and Bucky, who has put on some weight, I believe, is 1 pound lighter at 5'10". They're very, very similar builds. And so people that say things about Blue's size, it's fine. Say what you want. The NFL's changed, and these multi-functional running backs, they can be 190 something pounds now. They can be 5'9", they can be 5'10". Even in the case of Harvey, who's shorter, is like an inch or two shorter than Bucky, or even Blue, an inch shorter than Blue. These are running backs that they're stocky, they're big, they're massive, they're compact. And Jaden Blue, looking at his, let me pull up his 2024 college game log just so people can see how productive he is, especially nose for the end zone. This is the kind of guy that you get the ball to and he just finds the end zone. He's very, very capable in the receiving department, which is probably the most exciting part, I think, about Jaden Blue, is that he comes in and he can be that guy that can get a dump off and take it 45 yards downfield. He's so explosive, exciting. In 2024, he had 134 carries for 730 yards, 5.4 pop, 8 touchdowns. But while somebody might say, okay, these aren't big, yardage lines, Smitty, for Jaden Blue. I wanted to see a 1,200 yard, rush or whatever. You look at his 6 touchdowns receiving. You look at his big long play of 45 receiving, 77 the year prior, 69. He's just an explosive player. And if you watch him, and none of it really matters. You watch him, go watch some of the footage from 2024 at Texas, and it's such a crafty player. The best way to describe him is, what's his best comp? Let me. I'm gonna watch some Jaden Blue right now and give you a comp. I'm gonna tell you who I think he plays the most like. 1 second. Let me just pull him up. Jaden Blue. You guys can do this with me if you want. Jaden Blue highlights. Just a remarkable player. Every time I watch him, I get more excited. I've seen this footage before, but damn, I'm excited again, and I just want to draft him higher. But when I watch him, I see a player that reminds me an awful lot of Achane. Like, I don't want to say he's as quick or elusive or whatever, but I see Achane. I do see an Achane player. I see a combination of Achane, a little bit of Bucky in there. Another player I'm trying to think of that it's coming to mind, but I just can't peg it right now. That's why I'm rewatching this. Like, what is the player that I'm comping him to? It might be an older retired player. You know who it might be, and it's ironic because he followed me on IG the other day. But Jamal Charles, he kind of reminds me of Jamal Charles, the way he plays.
I was thinking, yep.
And Jamal Charles, I'm trying to get him on the show, by the way. But he reminds me of that. He's such a good player. And Jamal Charles, his size. Let me pull up Jamal. He wasn't exactly the biggest guy there. Jamal, what a player he was. Does anybody remember Jamal Charles? Hopefully, some of you played fantasy football back then. But he was just a monster. The guy was just. Jamal Charles was. What's his size? They don't even have it on ESPN anymore.
I think he was, what, 5'9", 199 or one?
About 5'10", 199. I think they didn't measure things even properly back then, I think. But I think he's listed like 5'9", 5'11", 190, 199, 195, somewhere in between there. So a little bit bigger than Blue, but he plays like Blue. He's my boy, Blue. Big T's on the line. Big T, go ahead. You're live.
What's up, Smitty? What's up, Pat? Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I actually wanted to call in and tell you that Jaden Blue reminds me of Achane because of his sheer speed and the way he catches the ball, the way he can be used in receiving packages. Like, it reminds me a lot of A-Chain. And, you know, I don't really like Bucky comp because Bucky is a little bit more shifty as far as like being able to move a little bit more laterally. I don't think Jaden Blue has that just yet. That's why I like the A-Chain comp a little bit more. More of a one-cut go kind of guy.
Motor. Like, I didn't say he was totally Bucky. I'm just saying you got to steal different things from players. But, like, he's got a motor like him. I think he's going to be he's going to have such a chip on his shoulder. But I think A-Chan and a little Jamal Charles in terms of the movement.
100%, yeah. And then the second thing, I wanted to quickly go back on the Dylan Samson thing.
Salty.
You know, with the Browns being not so great, the fact that Dylan Samson has already been said to being used in receiving packages a lot more. With the Browns not being so great, I feel like that's going to only help Dylan Samson's case from a fantasy perspective because they're going to be down and they're going to be having to pass a lot more often.
Oh, yeah.
That means Samson's going to be on the field more than Ford will be. As long as Judkins is out, I mean, I could see Samson really good simply from a situational perspective of the Browns not being good. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier when I was talking to Travis first when he got on the phone about it, was that Samson, while I lean toward offense, and Cowboys offense is miles ahead of the Browns, but the fact that Samson is the receiving back and the sky's the limit option, the team even said, he does get kind of protected into if the game scripts out of control, he's the one player that's actually going to do pretty good. But still, living near the red zone more often, more potent offense, Blue gets the nod for sure, but Samson's crafty. That's why we love both of them. You know, it's not like we're like a player in an offense that's not going to get him the ball. Judkins was on the flip side of all this, even before this whole stuff unfolded. When everyone kept saying, Judkins, he's going to be the guy, Judkins is going to be the guy, I kept saying, but if these games do get out of control, not saying that Shedeur can't surprise once he gets in there, but they might not even use Shedeur for half the season or whatever. This is the Browns. They might not ever put him in. And so if this team is unable to move the ball down the field, Judkins might be the one that ends up getting hurt the most, even if he was on the field, because Samson is the third down back, or likely to be eventual third down back. And even if Judkins came back today and everything was wiped away clean, it would be a Ford and Judkins split with Samson being in there too. And so it's going to take a lot for Judkins, I think, to get back into anywhere close to the value range people were expecting. Real quickly, hold on, Big T. Love the show, learning a lot and having fun. Thank you for providing us with the best fantasy content, period. Thank you. Appreciate you, my boy. Salty coming in hot with a $20 haul.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Salty, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you. I'm going to start doing standing ovations for $20 haulers with the money. Make it rain. We got to get back to that. So anybody who drops a 20 going forward, you're going to get that money flowing. You can say the whole Dallas offense has a chip on their shoulder. Dak, playoff Dallas, Pickens, problem child, Ferguson, flash in the pan, etc. It's correct, Sam. And even Milton, when he gets in there, oh, this guy can't do it. He's an AR5. Yeah, that's just AR5 in a different uniform. That's not, Milton can't do anything. He's a running quarterback. He's a gadget. It's all going to be the same, bro. I like Dallas this year. I really do. I think they grabbed that third wild card spot. Yeah. Blue Moon. I love the Blue Moon takes. We can go 100 different ways with the Blue Moon. You're my boy, Blue footballs.
Blue Moon's great. You could do like a little put an orange. You can put an orange with Blue Moon there.
10 gifted memberships by New Age.
Super chat alert.
Guys, thank New Age if you got a gifted membership from New Age Outlaw. Jaden give you blue footballs. Let's keep it semi clean that way. Was thinking the same thing. Throwing all of it back, baby. Yeah, DJ, if I have it correct, that you're going to be pigeon-held to keep Hurts there and watch these great players get drafted. And yeah, so I'd say throw it back. Appreciate your super chats, bro. All right, let me go around the phone line real quickly. Actually, other caller just hung up. All right, Big T, anything else? New Age. Big T, anything else? Hello, Big T. Hello? He's either on mute or he's gone. All right, Travis, what else you got?
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any other news popping right now? Let me check. Check IG. See what our X. See what else we got cooking. We have the rookie signings for those that don't know. RJ Harvey signed yesterday. Hendy signed today. We hadn't really celebrated that one yet. Trey Henderson signed today. Trey Harris signed yesterday. It's all coming in now. Who was the other player that signed? We had a bunch of them that signed.
You pick Burden?
Oh, I didn't yet, but yes, Luther Burden signed. At this point, I'm not even really.
Wasn't this whole? I don't think wasn't confused.
Yeah.
And maybe the a little bit like. Granted, if you're not making trouble, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a wake up call. How quick it can body.
Yeah. I think I had this right here. Yeah. So Trevion Henderson. Yeah, I should have had this during the news portion. Patriots signed second-round pick Trevion Henderson to his 4-year contract. Henderson is obviously there's no 5th-year option with these 4-year guys, the second-round guys. So just keep that in mind later. Henderson, let's see here. Henderson looked explosive in the offseason practices and can be expected to take over the receiving duties in year 1. The team is likely hoping he can take over early down role as well. This is coming from NBC or NBC Sports, but yeah, Henderson, now that he signed, man, his ADP. I don't even know if these guys' ADPs will actually change all that much with with these things, because I don't think many people were even. A lot of people coming back into the mix right now aren't even aware they're not holding out, but waiting to sign their deals. So I don't think it's going to change too much. Cody with a super chat. BTJ and the 11th rookie pick for Sutton and the 2nd Hampton. Let's see here. What is it? Cody, I got to look at this. Hampton in the 2nd. What are we doing there? BTJ and the 11th rookie pick for Sutton and the 2nd Hampton. You talking about the 1.2 pick, or this looks like a second rounder and then a Hampton? So I'm confused. I imagine it's you mean the 1.2. So BTJ and the 11th pick, the 1.11. For Sutton and 1.2. I'd probably say I don't know that I feel like if you're drafting right now, BTJ is not only a top 12 redraft pick, but he's certainly still a top 12 dynasty pick. So where are you drafting Hampton? We just talked about it being about maybe 2.12, 2.10. I mean, could someone take Hampton in the middle of the second round in a dynasty startup? That's fine. I don't think it's horrible at all. Where's his ADP is what I'm trying to figure out. Where are people drafting him? And, is Sutton closing that gap? I don't think so. I'd rather BTJ, and I love Hampton, but I'd rather have BTJ. Let's see what the chat thinks on this one, and then here's is Hampton a no-brainer with no 2 rookie pick? With the number 2 rookie pick. Okay, there we go. What do you think, Travis?
I tend to agree with you. BTJ at 1.11. BTJ is already established. Something doesn't really cool. Yeah.
Big T.
BTJ be a who's in the rookie.
Yeah, Big T.
Yeah. I agree with Travis there.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, just think about the ADP. Like, whenever someone asks me a question like this, I love answering it. So keep it coming. But my natural reaction will always kind of be like, where are these guys getting drafted? Now, are there some cases? I should say this. Like, it never hurts to ask, because there are some cases where I don't agree with the ADP, and then when push comes to shove, I really want the player. Like, a perfect example would be, like T. Higgins, who has a much higher ADP in redraft and probably still in Dynasty, I imagine, than Travis Hunter. But if someone offered me Travis Hunter for my T. Higgins, I don't care about ADP. Give it to me. So it's still always good to ask this question. But in this case, I mean, you really think about BTJ, we believe in his ADP. And Hampton, we believe in his ADP. And they're both pretty far, not far apart, but they're at least a half a round to a round apart. So Sutton ain't a gap closer like that. Thank you for the question. And then this one, Smitty, play your favorite player animation you made this season. Right now, I'm really feeling this one.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Just because it contains 4 of our favorite players. I'm really shocked that we haven't had more $100 haulers to. And it's probably on me because some people don't know. Travis and who was it, Travis, that made the point that I should put the to get your name on here, drop a $100 hauler? Was it?
DBQ or someone else?
It might have been, but yeah, it might
In
have
a
been.
jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
We only have 3 people on this one. Not surprising to me. But anybody drops a $100 hauler that wants to be listed on any of the animations with your $100 super chat, just drop it and tell me which one. That's probably my favorite one. We got so much clicking on this phone line. It's crazy. Let me go over to the 443 caller, then I'll go back to Big T. If you guys can mute yourself, it might help with the clicking. It might not. 443, you're live. It's so bad.
What's up, Smitty? This is Nick from Baltimore.
What's up, Nick?
How's it going? I got a couple trades in the inbox and one that I completed. So I got one here that is Kittle and Ward that I'm going to be sending away for Garrett Wilson and Njoku. Is that something that would work out as far as for me, because I need a wide receiver?
Well, is it a super flex, tight end premium?
Yeah, super flex, tight end premium. Yeah.
The value's not here. I mean, Ward and Kittle is a lot in that format. Even if it's Dynasty, it's still a lot in that format. I love Garrett Wilson. I mean, it's not far off, but I think Ward's a really, really good option. Now, who would be your QBs if you traded Ward away?
Penix and JJ, and they're on the bench.
I mean, I'd rather trade JJ McCarthy. I'd do this with JJ McCarthy more than I would do it with Ward. But I think I remember talking to you. You're a big JJ McCarthy fan, right? So how am I going to convince you of that? I mean, do what you want, but I would definitely.
Yeah, JJ is true.
Well, then you got your guy. If you believe that to be the case, I mean, I guess this isn't bad then. But chat, what are you doing in this situation?
Yeah,
if you got the quarterback of your dreams, this picture whoever, close your eyes and picture whoever that is for you. He sees it as JJ McCarthy. You got Penix Jr. as the other quarterback. I don't know, man. It's still tough. It's tight end premium. I love Ward. I think Ward is going to be way better than JJ McCarthy personally. And I love Garrett Wilson. And Njoku's pretty good too, but I don't know. He can't stay healthy. His longevity is kind of, I don't know. I'd probably say, Travis, what do you think on this one?
Does he have any other? Is it a super flex?
Yeah, he's got Penix Jr. and JJ McCarthy, and I told him to trade JJ McCarthy, but he's not having it. He's in love with the JJ McCarthy situation. So Ward and Kittle for Garrett Wilson and Njoku.
I mean, if you truly believe in McCarthy that much, I don't mind doing the deal. But
it's pretty.
I mean, I want Ward.
It's pretty even. I would trade if I would do this. JJM and Kittle for Garrett Wilson, Njoku in a heartbeat. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Ward's going to be better than JJ McCarthy. Ward
Okay.
already looks fantastic. JJ McCarthy is still very much an enigma. His situation is great, but we don't know what he's going to look like.
It's also loose out of the curve. Some of them are.
All right, my boy. Last one.
All right, so I got the trade that I completed. So I received James Conner, RJ Harvey, and a 2026 second. What I sent was Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, and a 2026 first. And this is double tight end premium.
Okay, so you sent a first rounder. What's the likelihood of it being early?
Less likely now, but it's like probably mid.
Okay, so first and what? What did you send?
I sent Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave.
And this is a tight end premium as well?
Yeah, double tight end is 2.0.
Double tight end premium or double tight end? Double tight end premium. Okay. And that's okay. That's tight end premium, really. But okay. So you're also, who's your tight end now?
I've got McBride.
Okay, yeah. I'd take this deal all day. Because I would take, if you threw Harvey into the middle of next year's draft, I'm going to assume, because I love Harvey, he's going to be worth that pick. And, I'm not, Kraft I like a lot, but you've got McBride. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with Connor. You're renting Connor for a year. You got a second. This is fine by me. I like it.
Cool.
All right, bro. Thanks. All right, later.
Have a good enjoy the show.
All right, thanks. I don't mind if people, love JJ McCarthy. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm not. I never once hear me say he's going to be trash. He's going to be out of the league. He's a bust. Never once do I say that. I just say you don't know what he is, and when we compare him to other players, it is hard to buy in at that value or over a Cam. Cam Ward looks like he's going to be great. He looks like he's. I think Cam Ward's going to be better than CJ Stroud, and it might be his rookie year. It might, maybe not. Maybe he has some bumps in the road. Maybe Stroud bounces back a little bit. But this is what I'm expecting. I'm looking at Ward, and I'm saying, in Dynasty, if you say Ward Stroud, I smash Ward. I don't even hesitate. I just hit the button. Boom. Give me Ward. I don't think I would do that at JJ McCarthy or Ward. I'm just Ward. I just think he's going to be really, really good. And we talked about Drake May versus Ward. Like that's still debatable for me. That's how much I like Ward. Could May outscore him this year? He very well could. Depends on if he gets McLaurin or not. But
if that guy's still listening, what I'll say is if his entire league is from Minnesota, and all the people in his league are Minnesota fans, he could really capitalize on that. JJ McCarthy, McCarthy fans, but I trade Jaden McCarthy over Penix and Ward already, and then the fact that if his league mates are Minnesota Vikings fans just like he is, they'd probably pay a premium for JJ McCarthy on top of that. So, I don't know if you're still listening, but it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But I'm a big Penix fan, so I can't really blame you for not wanting to move on JJ himself.
all right, thanks, Big T. I'm gonna wrap the phone line up. So appreciate you calling in, bro.
Sure, man.
All right, later. Travis, anything else? We'll be back tonight, midnight Eastern, like usual, drafting on Underdog. So I'll drop the link if anybody wants to draft tonight. You got to click and sign up now, though.
Just New Ages Super Chat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, New Age for the $10, my boy.
Tumors!
Yeah, so Garrett Wilson draft, all those drafts, just so everybody knows, it's August. We'll be talking about it August 1 when we're going to draft. I imagine everything's going to be August 15th and after in terms of all the drafts that we're doing. What is a fair price to get CMC and Dynasty from Travis? New Age. Can you give me a list of his team? Like who's on his team?
He's got and green.
Super Foods, okay.
Yeah. Genty, Turbo, MHJ, Drake London.
I'm sorry.
Ingram.
Real quickly, I'm sorry. Genty, London. Who else? All I have is Genty and London.
MHJ. Turbo, Evan Ingram, Buka.
What about first rounders?
Yeah. 2020. Yeah, he has all his first rounders.
26 first, 27 first.
Second.
Looking at this, he's not going to trade Genty. He's not going to trade London. I don't know what you could add back in. There is a world where I could see somebody taking CMC, and maybe even you are adding something to get an MHJ if you can win now and somebody believes in CMC. But I personally wouldn't do that, but it just depends on if you like MHJ or not. Some people want to sell them now. Buka and a first rounder would work for me if I was trying to get CMC, or I was trying to get rid of CMC for something. I would not try and get too greedy and look at this roster and go, oh yeah, I'm going to get London MHJ unless I'm doing something where you're giving up first rounders, which you can do. But I think if I look at it, it's like, look, if you do get this is my talking point would be, if you do get the CMC that some believe you could be, you're going to win the league. So I want a first in Buka, or I want a first rounder period, or something like that, or probably in that ballpark. I'm not saying you get it. I'm not saying this is.
My dilemma is on my team. I have running back. All I have, it's a team I took over in Orphan last year. Harvey. After that, all I have is Swift, Sean, Cross.
Look, Swift has some value this year. Part of me wonders if you could do some sort of you have CMC. You don't really have. He doesn't have any other running backs. He has Genty, and that's it.
No, he has Scatabo, Jaydon Blue, Smith.
Blue, my boy Blue. Hey, chat. How crazy? First of all, New Age, would you give like a 27 or 28 first, something further down with Blue and Buka for CMC? Chat, is that even fair? Or who would even? Because if you're trying to take this over and you don't have much anyway, you have Harvey and you're just gonna wait a while. Like, would you take a 28 first rounder, Blue and Buka? Or even, 28 first rounder and Buka?
We had 26 or 27.
New Age, would you even do Blue and Buka in a 27 first rounder? I'm just curious if you'd even do that. And Travis, do you have your own first rounder? Because if you do, you're making your pick closer to be the 1.1. You know what I mean? Like, this trade makes you maybe have the 1.1 too. Okay, so he's saying no Buka. So what about Blue? Would you do Blue in a 26 first rounder for CMC?
I mean, if he's not willing to move off Buka, he's probably not going to get.
Travis just said if you're not,
someone else is willing to move.
Travis just said if you're not going to move off Buka, you can go kick rocks. Is what Travis just said. I'm relaying this. Is that correct, Travis? Or am I? No, I'm just kidding.
Someone at least comparable, which I don't. I mean, make an offer.
Okay, so Travis, would you do a 26 first? Would you take a 26 first in Blue?
have to think about it.
Because you're making your team worse, which is going to help you get the 1.1. Blue has got really nice upside, and you're so just curious. In chat, what do you think of that? Is that a fair offer? A 26 first rounder, Jaden Blue, and it would be probably middle of the pack pick at, we're guessing at best at the moment, unless this team gets extended. Well, a first rounder in Blue's not really scraps, though, in my opinion. He says a first, a second in Blue. He'll do that for CMC. Chat, do we like a first, a second, and Blue for CMC? Can we get a vote? Yes or no? Yes or no? Would you be willing to throw in Scatterboo? New Age. Would you be willing to throw in Scatterboo? We're matchmaker here. Okay.
Well,
so too much risk and see. Okay. He says no. All right. Well, this is where I leave you guys. Okay. I've set up a second date potentially. You can go from here. We'll pay for the meal. You guys can sit down and try and knock it out. I think I did pretty good. Blue and you can keep Blue. Oh, yeah. Well, whatever. No one's listening to you, Quid. But what do you guys think? What's the vote? The vote is take the picks in Blue. Double Achilles tendonitis too much for CMC. I think a majority of the chat is saying Blue in the first rounder, Travis. If it was me and you were rebuilding this team, I'd take it. But that's me.
I'm like, either way.
If I were you, I think we can get a deal done on this team right now. Someone says dump sad. All right, New Age, send it, man. I think Travis will accept that. If you send it, I think he'll accept that. In my opinion, at least I would. But I mean, you'd have 2 first rounders next year. You'd have Harvey. I'd probably try and trade Swift in something else to try and get another first rounder somehow, like Swift and all your seconds to try and get a first. I'd trade. You end up getting 3 first rounders next year. People think next year's crap draft class anyway, so I think you can get them pretty easily, and it's not a crap draft class. Dump CMC ambulance. I'd take that all day in a rebuild, says Cat. You got a ton of people, I think, on the train for you. And to New Age's defense, he's got a team that can win now, so it's not a bad move for him. Maybe Travis, you even swap that pick with someone else's pick in some other deal, and then you move off of worrying about his team playing bad. But anyway, all right, Travis. Anything else?
No. Later.
All right, later, bro. I like that trade. I'd do it. Send it to him, New Age. I don't think it's bad for you if CMC works out, but got McBride for Scatterboo, Goddard, and a 26 first. Got McBride for Scatterboo, Goddard, and 20. I like that. PPR, no tight end premium, but hurting bad at tight end. That was a great trade. What do you think? I think it was fantastic. Smitty approved that trade. I'll take McBride all day.
You've just...
I think that was a good trade we set up for the two of them. It's a real good one. And guys, don't forget that any $100 hauler can thank you. Nice job with that trade, Kat. Nice job. Any $100 hauler, you can put your name on a video animation. Someone said something about it. I was reading somewhere. Someone said it about JD5. Who said that about my JD5? JD5 $100 hauler. Who said that? That was Salty. Salty said, "Do you have an animation $100 hauler for Jaden Daniels, or am I mistaken?" Of course I do, Salty. Salty, it's this one right here. You get 2 choices if you want it. Tell you what, I'll give you a 2-for-1 special, Salty. You drop a $100 haul right now, I'll put you on both of these. I've got this one.
He's a 5. JD5 is going to 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University.
And on top of that, 2-for-1 special. You get this one as well.
There are 2 5s, KD5, AR5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams. Oops. Well, damn. He's a fragile Freddy.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him. And
2-for-1. Look at those. Both of those. And you know we're going to be punching that all season long. I don't know why more people aren't on both of those, because we'll be punching that all season long. Salty says, give it to me. I want it. I want both of them, Smitty, and I want it now. Yes, sir.
There are 2 5s, KD5, AR5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams. Oops. Well, damn. He's a fragile Freddy.
he's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
Supernova.
All right, so we got that added, and then we got to add them over here. Appreciate you for the $100 hauler, bro. This is the other one.
There are 2 5s, KD5, AR5? There can't be.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
Supernova.
Okay, that's all taken care of. Salty, appreciate you, my man. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Just heard you calling for me. Hung up because girlfriend called. Big TD. Okay, so Big TD, did I answer your question earlier? I'll have to look and see what it was. Thank you, Salty, again for the $100 hauler. Rockout says, I need a Pluto men board. Rockout says, okay, I'll show the Pluto, or we have the Uranus board. Is that what you're talking about? We don't have a Pluto board. Maybe we have a Pluto board at some point, but we have Alcatraz. Alcatraz is a new board that we got. Big T, let me go find out what your other question was, because I think I answered it. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. I gave you an answer on something. All right, the Alcatraz board is right here for those that don't know. Here it is. This is the Alcatraz board. These are gentlemen that may or may not get released and get back to doing good things, or not. Tucker get released and get back to craziness, maybe. Judkins' stay is indefinite. Rice may be a 2 to 4 week, but still got to watch out for that. And Addison's more likely going to be, I think it's going to be something along the 4 to 8 weeks, to be honest. So I'm going to put a 4 to 8 week stint in Alcatraz, Fantasy Alcatraz, and we'll have to see how that goes. But there is the Alcatraz board, the Alcatraz boys. Justin Tucker leading the way. He's got the most time. Tucker is serving the longest Alcatraz sentence, most likely. Judkins could actually. Judkins may never leave Alcatraz, but right now, definitely Tucker has the most time to serve over on Alcatraz. We'll have to see. Where are we at? I think that's it for now. We'll be back tonight. I think all the super chats have been handled. Thank you all for the super chats. Thanks for the gifted memberships. New Age Outlaws, a machine. Gifted memberships. We had what do we have? 10 gifted by New Age Outlaw. We had super chats tonight from Salty. Thank you, Salty, again. Rock out, appreciate you. Big TD. Oh, I was gonna go find Big TD's message. Travis said something about it right now, but Travis, what did he say? Do you understand what I missed? Big TD said he heard his name and maybe I was answering a question somewhere. I don't know. He's making a Big T. Here it is. Big T just talking about why he wasn't on the phone line when you called for him. Oh, okay. Got you. All right. I thought maybe there's something else. I'll see you all later. See you tonight, midnight Eastern. We're drafting on Underdog, promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They got a really cool contest out right now, which it's the same thing as everything else. Here's the Patreon link, by the way. Join the Patreon. I'm going to go over to the Patreon right now. That link is right there. Underdog, that link is right here. So click that link as well if you want to get 50% match on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 and draft with us tonight. I'm going to pin that link right now in the live chat. That link is being pinned as we speak. There it is. Boom. There it is. You want to draft with us tonight, make sure you hit that link. But there's a new contest out there that's just like a normal draft. You know, draft 10 bench spots. It goes through week 14, and then it gets narrowed down. The playoffs are weeks 15, 16, 17. But every draft is 6 people in each draft, so everybody's team is a little more stacked. Kind of feels like an 8-man league, when you draft in those and everybody's teams are stacked. We could try a couple of those tonight, but six people in a contest is pretty fun. You can get some stacked teams, so maybe we'll do some of that tonight. And then again, don't forget to get on over to the Patreon, which I just dropped that link. I'll drop the link one more time. The Underdog link is pinned. That's for tonight's drafting. Click that link, and then this is the Patreon link. Go chat live. I'm even going to go over there right now, pull up my Patreon, and talk to my people, and just say, yo, how is everyone doing? Any post 8 p.m. show topics besides... Or no, I'll just leave it. If anybody wants to talk about Blue, we'll talk about Blue. Blue season, baby. Love it. There we go. Boom. All right, I'm over there right now. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But in the meantime, I bet we go... No, tomorrow. What's today? Friday? Jeez. As far as I can predict, we'll be live tonight at midnight. We'll be live tomorrow at midnight, and we'll be live tomorrow midday. So 3 shows in the next 24 hours, roughly. So I'll see you all tonight at midnight Eastern. Don't mind me. I thought it was Thursday for a second. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's this show right here. We're live every night at midnight Eastern, practically. That's going to be tonight's show. So in about, 2 hours or so. And then I'm live whenever big news breaks, like earlier today. Drop that lightning bolt for Travis. He's our lightning rod, a.k.a. the rod, up in this mug. See you all tonight. Appreciate you. Be back in like 2 hours. Midnight Eastern, baby. Drop that lightning rod. Green, I keep this on the board until Green tells me he's seen it. Green, are you there? Green, my answer is the same. Garrett Wilson, MHJ, Rice, JSN, then DK. But Rice could go 2 over MHJ if it's Dynasty. Green, hopefully you see it. Green, and I've kept it up enough. I guess this is the final one. Green, thank you for the super chat. He wasn't around when I was answering it, so I just want to throw it up one more time for Green. Appreciate you. Salty, thanks for that 100. Space Ricky, thank you. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Sick Nasty to the moon. Thank you, DeBolt. Thank you to all my moderators and Lightning Bolt Travis. Drop a rod on the way out. Green's going to see it week 1, maybe, Travis. I don't know. I can't get Green to respond. All right. Hopefully New Age and Travis get that trade done. That'd be exciting. All right. See you all later. Appreciate you. Midnight Eastern, deuce.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Got him.
You know, a lot of people ask me to perform miracles on this channel. Smitty, make something amazing happen. And I say, you know what? I can. Watch this. Watch this right here. I'll take this and boom. And then out of nowhere, zoom in on this bad boy. Zoom in on that.
They laughed when we said he was about to be an unstoppable force for all to see. With Chase Brown, get up, get down. With Chase Brown, get up, get down. With Chase Brown, get up, get down. With Chase Brown, Brown.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk.
Warning, what you're about to see might be a little bit scary. You might want to turn away if you're squeamish, but this footage has been sent to us from a local Phoenix resident. Local authorities are trying to figure out what the sign means. I'm going to charge your drone tonight. Sharp season. Unclear as to what that is trying to reference or if that's some sort of warning. And it's still undetermined where these flying objects are deriving from.
From the Fantasy Football Show.
I'll see you tonight. I got to charge your drone tonight. Deuce.